what's going on, everyone? It's Tate with Spectacular Gadgets, and this background's a little different. This video is going to be about my feelings and use and review of the Samsung Galaxy A80. Now, I've had this device for some time now, and I've finally got to see what it's about, use it, you know, get my likes and my dislikes and everything else in between. I have a list, and I'm going to start with the things that I actually like about this device. So, first thing that I like about this device is the actual screen. The display size and just the display itself is a very nice plus pro, in my opinion. This screen is super big and nothing is in its way of viewing anything. So let me just wipe it down for you. As you see, nothing is in the way of viewing any kind of videos, Netflix, Hulu, anything that you're watching on the go. There's nothing in the way of the screen. There's no camera, there's no hole punch, there's nothing. This is all screen action here. Similar to the OnePlus 7, there's all screen action, but this device is 6.7 inch. So you get all screen there, and that's a plus in my, you barely see any, my wallpaper or my lock screen is black, but you really don't see any bezel whatsoever, and I like that. This is truly a bezel-less display in my opinion. Plus, you know, speaking of the size and everything, this is a 20:9 aspect ratio. So, viewing any kind of content, whether it's YouTube or just watching a movie, this device is really nice to view media content and movies, and you'll be fine with it. The next thing that I really like about this device that you're not going to see, is the uniqueness of the design. It's pretty sleek and it's pretty thin when you think about it, but then once you add the case, like, I don't know if you guys know, but I had this VRS Damda Pro case on there, and this does, even though the case said it was thin, this does add amount of heft to it. So the device to me is already a little on the heavy side, and you know, rightfully so, because of the camera mechanism. You know, this camera rotates, so they have to have enough space in here to make that feature work. But the unique design of this, you know, just with the camera coming up, and it's just sleek looking. I love the ghost white color, and the phone is made of glass, so that's why you're going to want a case on it. The next thing that I like is, we kind of touched on it, the rotating cameras. That is unique in itself, but this also serves as your selfie camera. Everyone knows, for the most part, rear cameras are better than the selfie cameras. You may want to argue that with the OnePlus 7 Pro, but this is a great feature to have because your selfie should always be on point. And it's as simple as, you know, pulling the camera app open, hitting that, and it just rotates, and it works. Mine has not gotten stuck. Like, a lot of people have complained that the rotating camera has gotten stuck. Mine has not gotten stuck, and it works every single time. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back. It goes back down so that I can be recording this way or taking a picture from the rear of the phone. Then, let's say I just want to take a selfie again. Every time it works. I don't have a problem with it. And the quality of the pictures, that's a plus. I just dropped a video yesterday or the day before of my experience with using the camera when I was out and about, and I'm gonna say I was very pleased with all still photos. If I was using just the standard camera or the ultra wide, all photos are so sharp and so crisp, and of course, in the perfect lighting conditions, you're gonna have some really cool photos. Now, the videos, on the other hand, the stabilization on this device, I'm not feeling, but we can go into that in my dislikes. But any photo that I've taken using this device, I'm gonna say that it has done a great job. That ultra wide camera feature I don't have to keep backing up till I back up in the street and possibly get hit. No, I just press that button and I'm just getting so much more in my picture, and I really appreciate that. And yes, that is also in the Samsung Galaxy S10, but we're talking about the A80, the A series. It's my first A series, and I'm impressed with the picture quality of this. The next thing I want to talk about is the fast charging. This device comes with a fast, I believe it's a, maybe, is it 25 watt fast charging, and I'm gonna say that this A80 does charge super fast. I actually use the charger from my OnePlus 7 Pro, because that's a 30 watt fast, what they call that, I forgot the name that OnePlus uses for their, what is it? Making me think now. I can't think of the name, but I actually use that fast charger for this, and it does charge fairly quickly. So I'm never like completely out of battery and, you know, all of that. The next thing I want to talk about is this is running not an 855 or not the most current, but this is running the Snapdragon 730, and using the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, which I sold, I don't have that one anymore, and using the Speed Demon, the OnePlus 7 Pro, I'm gonna say it's not a huge difference when opening things, or, you know, it's not, I mean, if you had them side by side, but when really do you have a device side by side that you have to do the exact same thing? Most people, your average person, they don't have their devices side by side. So keeping that in mind, going through just my everyday task and opening up apps, and I feel this device is smooth for a 730 Snapdragon. I don't see anyone really having an issue with the Snapdragon 730. Like I said, it's smooth, and just going through my recent apps, everything seems to open just fine. As you see, you know, opening up anything, it does just fine. You won't have a problem as far as speed. And to me, I just find it's not noticeable, especially if you're not using another device that has a higher or more current, up-to-date processor. Don't be afraid or don't be put off because, oh, this doesn't have the most current Snapdragon in it. If long as it's optimized right and everything, I think any device can run as smooth as you want it to run. The next thing I want to talk about is what not a lot of people actually use a phone for, but call quality. Now, call quality on this device is actually really clear. People can hear me, I can hear them, and I didn't have any issues with it. Speakerphone, if you want to use speakerphone, that's just as nice too, and it works. It just works. The last thing I want to talk about as far as my likes is, to me, I don't know how other people will feel, but I am actually okay with the price of this. When I purchased this cost me $649. I can actually say that I feel like the price point for this device is actually fair. And I say that because, you know, this may not be a flagship. We can classify this as a mid-ranger, you know, due to the price, but I feel like with the features that they have in here, everything that this device can do, plus the uniqueness of it and the camera mechanism and everything, and you know, your standard Samsung features and all that, it justifies the price. I totally think that the $650 price point it's okay for what you're getting from the A80. And for those people who are not trying to spend like $1,000 for like the S line, or, well, you know, I don't really like to compare the S line and the Note, but could totally be an alternative to getting something like the S10 if you're not trying to spend the money. Now let's move on to my dislikes. My first dislike is the sensor on this device is it's so freaking slow. It makes me want to pull my hair out. And I know I can use a pen and I could use a pattern and everything, but by habit, and I'm just used to it, it's a routine for me. I'm just used to using my thumbprint to go ahead and unlock all my devices. And this fingerprint scanner is like, see how slow that is? It's too darn slow. And I've tried putting, you know, resetting and putting in several different instances of applying my fingerprint, and it's annoyingly slow. So that's the number one thing, because I use that a lot. I'm, you know, you lock your phone and you want to unlock it. And so I'm using the fingerprint sensor a lot. That's the first thing you do when I pick up the phone is I'm unlocking it, and I'm unlocking it how? Via the fingerprint scanner. The next thing that I want to talk about, which is kind of funny to me because it seems like all the lower A series have it, but there is no face unlock on this device. And I was kind of surprised. I didn't know it when I purchased it, but you know, I was thinking like, well, the OnePlus 7 does it. The reason that they most likely did not have a face unlock with this phone is because the mechanism for the rotating camera will wear out way too fast, I believe. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it. Let me put it close to the mic and I'll let you hear how it sounds. I mean, it sounds like it's heavy duty. All right, I'm gonna put it close to me so you guys can hear just what it sounds like. You hear that? So imagine every single time you're going to unlock your phone, this thing has to come up. And so yeah, the OnePlus 7 Pro, it comes up from the top, but it's not a whole rotating situation there. So like, I'm gonna unlock, you know, it comes up quick, unlocks, and then goes back down. So I have my glasses on right now, but you know, people were worried about how many times can that camera come up, but this one is in a whole nother league by itself because it's just the entire top comes up and has to rotate each time. So that is a reason that I'm assuming they did not have face unlock on this device, but it's kind of a bummer because this device costs more than the other A series and it doesn't have that biometric. So yeah. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about as far as me not liking about this device is the speaker. The speaker is absolute garbage to me. And it is easily covered up when holding in your hand, in your right hand, or, you know, it's easily covered up, muffled, and the sound just goes away. So having one bottom firing speaker on this device, to me, is a no-go. There's no way for them to put it on the top of the device for obvious reasons, but it would have been cool if they could have found somewhere else to put it. But to have just the speaker, I'm going to be honest, it's trash. The next thing I want to talk about is going back to me really liking the photos that this device takes, but me really disliking the videos that comes out of this device. Now, if you just have this strictly on a tripod, I think you'll be a-okay. But if you're walking around like I did in my video, and to be honest, most people on the average, they don't go and they don't carry a tripod. They don't have their gimbal. You'll have that if you know you're going out to take some shots. But I did it as an average person. You know, you're going out to lunch or whatever. You go take your phone out of your purse and you want to go take a picture. That's just what you do. You don't go like, oh, let me get my gimbal. And you don't do that. Most people, they don't do that. So that's why I had the one thing I did have, and that's another thing that's kind of crazy that I don't like, is I did have a handheld, this Manfrotto handheld tripod. So this is one of my favorite little tripods. It's built to last. I had my tripod and then I had this on there. Taking pictures with this two-handed, it's kind of difficult because you see how close the camera is to the edge of the phone. So when most people take it, you know, like you want to secure the phone because again, this phone is made out of glass. And then also what makes this a little difficult is the device is heavy. It's heavier than your S10. It's just heavy because of that camera mechanism that they had to put in here. So it'll be very tiresome if you're trying to take video for a long time because you have to make sure to keep your finger away from the lens. And to me, that just adds on to why you should probably just use a tripod and let it stay on the tripod and, you know, catch the action that way. But it's difficult when you just you're walking and you're out and about. You get video quality like what you saw in my latest video. The video stabilization on this is pretty weak. And then they do have a feature called Super Steady. And I tried that at nighttime and it pretty much it was useless and unusable footage. It just really, I guess, didn't know how to manage the light. So most of the footage using Super Steady was just really terrible looking. I mean, I left it in the video so you guys can see, but it would not be something that I would use. The next thing I want to talk about, and it's always going to be an issue and annoying to me, it may not be for other people, but the lack of no headphone jack. I'm sorry, I'm gonna always say it. I like a headphone jack. Headphone jacks, to me, they're needed. Right now, I am recording this video using the LG G8 10Q, and I'm using this because it has a headphone jack and I have my Rode wireless mic and I can easily go ahead and use it. I have yet to find a dongle that will support me using this mic, and I really do like the mic, but it seems that I can't find any dongles, Type-C dongles, to allow the mic to work. So I like a headphone jack because I like to plug in my headphones and listen to music that way. I think it sounds better. I'm not too into Bluetooth earbuds and headphones and like all that stuff. Just another thing that you have to charge. I'm tired of having to charge everything. I mean, I have to charge my watch, the phone, and then it's easy to lose those earbuds. And I'm just always going to like a headphone jack better. The next thing is 3700 milliamps for a battery is okay, but for me, for some reason, it kind of drains pretty quickly. And it's okay because it has that fast charging, but I did notice it does drain pretty quickly. The last thing that I want to talk about in regards to the Samsung Galaxy A80 is I spoke on how I like the design and how this is a glass design. I'm confused as to why there is no wireless charging on this device. Mind you, it's a mid-ranger and it's $650. Has a glass back, but I am curious as to why there's no wireless charging. I like a wirelessly charging device. I like to have, I don't know if you saw my video, but the Lumi Charge 2 has a wireless charging pad on the lamp itself, and I just like a nice, neat little nightstand or desk and just go ahead and put my phone on and charge it. So that's everything that I like and dislike about the Samsung Galaxy A80. In my opinion, if someone asks me, should they get this phone? You have to sit back and think about what you're willing to give up, how you're going to use the device, is how well you can take care of your device, because having something like this, a rotating camera to come up, you have to kind of baby this device a little more than you would other devices. And you have to keep that in mind. There's other A series, the A70, the A50. I think they all have face unlock. Is that something? Is that a biometric that you absolutely need? I think, like I said, this is a good alternative to people who are just not into spending the $1,000 for the S line. I think this would be a good contender. This would be something that you may want to pick up if you like something unique. And I kind of always try to look for something different than what everybody else is getting for the most part. And I felt that, this is something different. None of the other Samsung devices have this cool rotating camera. I like the device. It may seem like I was getting on it, but those are the things after using it for a good amount of time that kind of bothered me. It may not be anything to you and you may just love it, and that's what makes this so great, because we have our own opinions, we have options, we have choices, and there's something for everyone. That's what I say. So I think I'm just gonna cut this now. If you like this kind of style of me recording, let me know in the comments. So I think I'm gonna end things here, and I want to thank everyone for taking the time to chill with me as we go through this journey. And until next time, everyone, I want you all to have, say it with me, a spectacular day. Later.